I just uploaded 3 videos on judges of highest instance courts in Serbia deeply involved in international organized crime. So these 3 pieces of shit, and I'm finishing this with, so they are all connected with one scandal related to cigarettes smuggling. So this is international organized crime, and now I'm finishing the whole series with the involvement of another judge who is, I think, judge of Court of Appeals. Yeah, Court of Appeals of Belgrade. This piece of shit, MIODRAG MAJIC. He's sort of TV celebrity. So I'm going to explain here his involvement in brutal cover-up. Probably this is the most, not probably, definitely the most outrageous moment of illegal arms trade in Serbia. So you will hear now, I'm going to play the related video and give even more details on illegal arms trade related to Serbia. I have a lot of videos on that. So if you type arms in my channel, this video is very important. This video, this, and especially this, and there are a lot of other videos. You type DOJ as Department of Justice US, and you have these 4 videos which are more than enough to prove that United States federal government is behind this illegal arms trade. So, by the way, this is a bug, this gap, and you need to reload page to get rid of it. I found like tens of bugs YouTube introduced after brutally blocking me and decreasing my views and the hours people watched my videos. So, I'm going to play the video. This guy together with another guy, so he is described in the in that video that was at the bottom. So arms, sorry, he's mentioned. He, another guy called Milovan Brkic, senior journalist, Serbian. So he's mentioned here in this video together with his partner quoted in crime. So they are his fake opposition, controlled opposition, and he's the fraction of that opposition which is pushing the story of deep state and Trump being a savior. So Donnie Trump, I call him Donnie Trump, real piece of shit. He is reported, Maria Farmer, the most important and the most credible Jeffrey Epstein's victim, reported Donnie Trump in 1996 to FBI that he was closely related to Jeffrey Epstein, and it was about one occasion when Maria Farmer met him. It was after hours. Jeffrey Epstein called her to finish something. He was working for him as an artist, and Donnie came in and was laughing, and then Jeffrey Epstein came in and said, no, she's not her for you. So you have that in, for instance, Maria Farmer and True News interview. So it can be found here. So it's even on their Twitter. I don't know if I can access it now. So here it is. That's the this is another piece of shit, Les Wexner. So in that interview you can hear that Maria Farmer said that Donald Trump was closely related to Jeffrey Epstein, and that Jeffrey Epstein was giving him young girls, so not young women, but young girls. So Maria Farmer at that time was very young looking, so it was not normal. I don't know when that piece of shit Trump is born. So Donnie, so Trump, I want to count what. So born 46, 77 years old. So that was almost so now it's 33 and 4, 20, 27 years ago. So yeah, so he was exactly 50 years old. So 50 years old guy was laughing, had that smirk on his face, so in a dark room after hours in a huge building. So he is pedophile, definitely. And of course pieces of shit from FBI covered this up, and because Maria Farmer reported everything in 1996, so the first one who she reported as the head of that so-called, you can see here snake, was actually Les Wexner, and FBI was hiding this until 2006 for 10 years. So because YouTube ignored her, that means she was right, and that gave her huge credibility. And I even have a video on that, on what it means when somebody ignores you in some major case. So ignore, this is the video. So this is part of, so again, gap. Well, YouTube has a lot of problems now recently. Okay, so that was the video. So this is just a photo, and I think this is the yeah, this is the link to that video. And by the way, Maria Farmer is now class law suing it's class lawsuit. Maria Farmer is about to file in the name of all Jeffrey Epstein victims. So Jeffrey Epstein is international. This is something that most of journalists forget to mention. So international children sex trafficking prostitute ring. That's what. So the worst scandal to hit the humankind, and not just United States, but also elite European Union countries are involved together with Russia. Russia is also involved. That's now official. Just ask David Boyce. Okay, so is there? The last thing I wanted to mention regarding those pieces of shit from FBI. By the way, they are ghosting me, not ignoring me, but ghosting me. FBI. They are protecting monstrous murder of my family, who murdered brutally three members of my family. This degenerate piece of shit. This is her sister, who gave guarantees for her. Both of these two monsters have major psych issues. So FBI is protecting this piece of shit. She also poisoned my brother's children, 3 minors. You have video here. So the last thing I want to mention about those pieces of shit from FBI is this. FBI hang up on me, Maria. Farmer, Fox News. So Fox News. So she's suing FBI for $600 million on the behalf of all Jeffrey Epstein victims. This is her lawyer, new lawyer. She dumped the David Boyce for some reason, I don't know. I'm guessing what that reason is. But anyway, so Maria Farmer, 600 million FBI suit class against FBI. So FBI protected mafia, real mafia, for 10 years. And then afterwards they protect them for 13 years, so until 2019, when Jeffrey Epstein was arrested. So of course that was a controlled breakout, but I will talk about that, another real piece of shit. I will talk about this more in a minute. So let's play a video on illegal arms trade. Again, this is the most outrageous moment of illegal arms trade in Serbia, where judge of Court of Appeals, one of the highest instance courts in the state, in every state, not just in Serbia, tells this guy, the guy who is whistleblower, Obradovic, he is who was whistleblower. Of course, everything was a psyop to hide that illegal arms trade started actually in 2001. And that guy is, as I explained in that video at the bottom, details on illegal arms trade and who is really behind that is, okay, I need to show it again, whatever. So that guy Obradovic, he's a, he was psyop. I mean, the whole operation was psyop or false flag. It's explained here. And I started with actually with Trump. So this guy is forcing the narrative that there is deep state. Deep state doesn't exist. That's rubbish, and that Trump is a savior. So I explained who Trump is. He's a pedophile. That's official. FBI knows about that, but they're hiding. So that means he could not be a president. No way. So he became president illegally, and he is he and this guy are fraction, which is this guy is now in prison, I think. They are forcing the narrative that, pushing the narrative that there is deep state, Trump is a savior, QAnon, all the rubbish. So QAnon is created by CIA and other pieces of shit. So intelligence, it's a very well-known fact. So I will now play the part of the clip where he stated this unbelievable statement that this guy, judge of Court of Appeals, said that this is the guy, Alexander Obradovic. He was supposedly whistleblower, but again that was psyop. So he said that when this guy Obradovic went to judge and told him everything about the whole case, he supposedly collected a lot of information. he was working at the company that is manufacturing guns called Krušik. They are also manufacturing arms for hunting and stuff like that, ammunition. So he supposedly told him that there are a lot of corruption in that factory. By the way, that's not the only factory which is manufacturing and selling guns. There are a lot of other factories. So when he gave all the information to the judge, instead of acting according to the law, and I will show what that piece of shit judge MIODRAG Majic should have done. So not in charge. So this is the video which explained what this piece of shit judge should have done. So according to the law on criminal proceedings, this judge should send all this information to prosecution in charge. So this is according to the law on criminal proceedings, which is the basis of police prosecution and therefore courts work. So this is the basis. Law on criminal proceedings or procedures, or code on criminal proceedings. Somebody calls that code because it's sort of above the law. Not above the law, but it's more broader than a regular law. So he didn't do that, but instead he advised that whistleblower Obradović to go to Pištaljka. So as I explained in previous videos, one of 3 videos that I uploaded, I think, that I just uploaded, I think this one or this one, anyways, doesn't matter. So I explained that Pištaljka and all the other so-called investigative, that's organization of investigative journalists, NGO, there are other like BIR and Insider and KRIK, which means Scream. In Serbian I call them Crime and Corruption Reporting Network. Yeah, right. So all of them, all of these so-called investigative journalists, especially this piece of shit, Brankice Stanković, they, as you can see, for instance, in her bio, they're all trained by foreign intelligence, in most of the cases CIA, to fight against corruption, but never to expose that United States and other foreign governments are behind international organized crime. And this is exactly what they did in case of illegal arms trade in Serbia and Western Balkans. So they are the major co-conspirators in this case, in case of illegal arms trade in Serbia, and of course all the other cases. There is huge drug trafficking scandal called Jovanjica indictment. I mentioned that in these 3 videos I just uploaded, so I'm not going into details. So judge did this because judges cannot go abroad or even be trained here to act as foreign agents, so-called DA investigative journalists. This is why NGO is are formed in the first place, not just in Serbia, all the other countries whose governments are controlled by United States federal government. Pieces of shit from United States federal government, and of course that government is controlled by their masters, so-called elite, real mafia. They're jewels, real stupid morons and stupid fucks. Just look that guy, what's his name? Henry Kissinger, real moron, then George Soros, so not George Soros, but George Soros. He's Hungarian Jew, extremely stupid and real moron. I will create videos on this piece of shit. By the way, I call these two, Henry Kissinger and George Soros, I call them grannies, because they look like grannies. Okay, so I will now play this clip and you will hear that this guy said, I don't know where he got this information, I think that is from DA. From this interview, Alexander Obradović and DA. One of the interviews with Alexander Obradović and N1 is, by the way, CNN, and you can see in my email either to FBI, it's here, or to United States Department of Justice. I just showed that I mentioned in that email, it was 2021, that CNN is the major co-conspirator in actually CNN is the one who gave me the most, the strongest piece of evidence that United States federal government is behind illegal arms trade, because N1, which is branch of CNN in Balkans, wrote frequently about illegal arms trade in Serbia, and CNN didn't wrote for actually they wrote recently about that, but before that they never wrote a single article about that, while Deutsche Welle from Germany, Spiegel, French agencies, even BBC, they wrote about illegal arms trade, which means that United States is behind this. They didn't write about this because they are behind this. So, I mean, because CNN is controlled by United States federal government. So, let's play this video.
Jer naši mediji su se pre godinu dana, najpre NIN, pa onda BIRN, septembra, oktobra, znači prošle godine, 2018. bavili slučajem trgovina naoružanja. Jedan tekst je izašao u NIN-u i jedan tekst je objavljen na BIRN-u. I posle toga su zaćutali. Sad se svraćam na intervju.
Okay, he mentioned here that only two newspapers wrote about illegal arms trade in 2018. NIN. These are, as can be seen here, News Magazine, and that BIRN, which I mentioned, and they stopped then afterwards. And the whole thing started, so most of the newspapers started writing about that in I think it was the end of December 2019. So this is when they started writing. So when these two wrote about that, NIN and BIRN, probably somebody told them to stop because the control broke out, was not prepared, and this is why they stopped writing about that. So let's continue.
Koji je Aleksandar Obradović dao Jugoslavu Ćosiću, gde on nama u stvari popunjava određene rupe koje mi sad imamo na osnovu svih podataka, jer zaista je šturo. Mi ne znamo šta se nalazi u tim spisima koje se nalaze u tužilaštvu.
And of course it's not a coincidence that that guy Obradović, so-called whistleblower, but actually the PSYOP. So PSYOP player, to be more precise, it's not a coincidence that he gave the interview to N1 branch of CNN. So why he didn't do that to, why he didn't give interview to some other newspapers, but to branch of CNN in Balkans. So the guy, and by the way, the guy who was conducting interview was none other than Jugoslav Ćosić, who is, by the way, editor of N1. He's a lawyer, by the way. So Jugoslav Ćosić, editor N1. All these facts shows that it was controlled breakout, and it was prepared for a very long time. So unofficially the whole thing started in 2015. So TVN1 CNN, so you can see TVN1 CNN exclusive news channel affiliate, Serbia. Yeah, editor-in-chief. No, this is something, this is about this piece of shit, sorry. This is about Tomanovic, one of the most prominent lawyer, Zdenko Tomanovic in Serbia. Top lawyers of Serbia, 5 of them are involved in cover-up of monstrous murders on my family. I'm about to create video on that from August 2017, and today is this date, so more than 6 years. Top lawyers. Okay, so this guy actually maybe he's the producer, so this is the guy. Wow, experienced news director. Wow. Yeah, that was within the time when he was news director. So director was conducting interview with that whistleblower. That means it's very, very, very extremely important what that guy was about to say. So these are some small details, but for everyone who is really into geopolitics and psychology and stuff like that, psychological warfare, which is of course a part of the geopolitics, you cannot have anything to do. You cannot understand basics of geopolitics if you don't know psychology very well. So this is a precondition. Okay, so let's continue.
Gomila stvari nama nedostupna kao javnosti zainteresovane u tužilaštvu šturo. Mi ne znamo što je određene rupe koji je Aleksandar Obradović dao Jugoslavu Ćosiću. Gde on nama u stvari...
So this is when he said Aleksandar Obradović gave interview gave to Jugoslav Ćosić.
Stvari popunjava određene rupe koje mi sad imamo na osnovu svih podataka, jer zaista je šturo. Mi ne znamo šta se nalazi u tim spisima koje se nalaze u tužilaštvu. Gomila stvari je nama nedostupna kao javnosti zainteresovane u celom ovom postupku. Prema njegovom samom svedočenju, on je nekoliko godina pribavljao dokumentaciju o poslovanju Krušika, jer nije želeo da gleda kako njegova firma trpi štetu.
So that guy, whistleblower Obradović, was supposedly collecting data, this is what he said, data on corruption in that factory Krušik. Because he didn't want to watch how his firm is destroyed. I mean, as far as I remember, mother of that Obradović, whistleblower, is one of the directors or member of the board of that factory.
I u jednom trenutku, ima već 2-3 godine, znači pre ovog slučaja, on odluči da se obrati za pomoć određenim licima. I najprije ode kod sudije Miodraga Majića.
So 2 or 3 years ago, which means this was 2019, yeah, December 2019, this is when the thing broke out, he decided to visit Miodrag Majic, judge, this piece of shit, real piece of shit. And let's see what happened then. So this is the most outrageous part of the whole.
Sudija apelacionog suda u Beogradu.
Miodraga Majića.
Tako je, samo on to kaže Jugoslavu Ćosiću. Znači, ode kod sudije Miodraga Majića, koji ga je onda uputio, kada mu je on prezentovao dokumenta i ispričao mu, kakve sve informacije ima u posjedu, on ga šalje u pištaljku. Opet malo čudno da zašto on ide kod sudije apelacionog suda u Beogradu i zašto njega ne šalje u tužilaštvo nego na pištaljku, ali ga je poslao u pištaljku. Jer se oni bave time. I posle gostovanja u Utisku nedelje kod Radmirovića koji vodi taj sajt Pištaljka, oni su suglasili jednim saopštenjem gde su naveli celu hronologiju njihove komunikacije sa Obradovićem, koja je išla preko nekih zaštićenih mailova i sve.
So he said here that Judge Miodrag Majic told that guy whistleblower to go to investigative journalist network called Pištaljka, which is a whistle, right? So what is strange here is that these guys, as far as I know, this guy Srđan Nogo is also a lawyer, and he said that it was strange for him that whistleblower went to that Judge Majic, probably because that judge was perceived in public as someone who is fighting for justice, which is totally opposite. And it is also, I mean, he mentioned here that judge should have said that, should have recommended to that whistleblower to go to DA prosecution, which is wrong. Judge should have forwarded this case that was presented to him by whistleblower to prosecution in charge, not any prosecution. I showed my video which explained that in detail. So it is really embarrassing for this guy who is a lawyer that he doesn't know that. He doesn't know what ex officio means, or acting according to the definition of your job. Okay, so that was this part, and just briefly to show who this piece of shit is. So this is his page in this is his info actually on the page of store selling books. So these are his books. So he has time to write some rubbish books, and he doesn't have time to do his job. I mean, really, I mean, I cannot even find the word to say what kind of scandal the whole thing is. But of course, this is just a small part of it. Okay, so I just want to play another part which is at 29:56, which mentions father of current President Aleksandar Vučić, and I showed in these 3 videos who he is, but I can show it right again. Who is current president? Check out this. Brutally beating his wife, which resulted in miscarriage, and reported 3 times. I reported 3 times false identity of Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić, multiple times. Okay, I reported false identity multiple times, actually 3 times, and his psych issues. So that was about current Serbian president. And oh yeah, there is one more thing which I haven't mentioned. So bastards. This is very interesting video. I need to come up with a proper thumbnail. So list of bastards or sons who were or are leading Serbia Yugoslavia installed by the elite. I will talk in details why elite want these morons, bastards to rule my country, but not now. So this part is related to father quoted, because newspapers wrote that he is not his real father. This is why I mentioned their false identity. This is false presentation is crime according to crime law, or criminal law, or criminal code of Serbia, and it can apply only to some official. Okay.
Ne pominje da je Anđelko Vučić na neki način povezan sa tim.
Anđelko is father of current president.
Ja još uvijek čekam odgovor. Tata od Aleksandra Vučića, Anđelko, traži kod Jovana Čekovića. Znači, Jovan Čeković, koji je doajen srpske trgovine oružja, general Jovan Čeković, dugogodišnji je bio direktor SDP-a.
Što je sad u Koštunici?
Tako je, u svom etno selu u Koštunićima. Dok je još...
Another figure involved in the in arms trade. So this piece of shit, General Jovan Čeković, it says here, this is N1 again, CNN, he confirmed that he has firm on Malta, and everybody knows what that means, and he is acquitted here on stealing $3.89 million from the company selling Yugo Import SDPR, selling guns. And this is again by the decision of Court of Appeals, and that Court of Appeals is mentioned in all these 3 videos. So the highest instance court, let's see, okay, I don't need this anymore. So these are the details, I'm not going into that now. So as you can see, the generals, army generals are involved in this. By the way, that guy Čeković has some ethno restaurant in countryside. It's countryside. What's the name? Koštunić or something like that. Anyways, so real businessman. So let's continue.
Bio Scott ambasador, znači američki ambasador Kai Scott. Jednomesečno kod njega u etno selo su dolazili Anđelko Vučić, general Aleksandar Dimitrijević, koji je nekadašnji načelnik KOS-a, i ambasador američki Kyle Scott. Tu voli i Perišić da navrati, inače, jel te, i on je iz tog kraja, pa voli...
He mentioned some more, I don't need this anymore, some more people who were visiting that guy Čeković and his ethno restaurant. First one he mentioned is former American US Ambassador Kyle Scott, another piece of shit. Then this guy, former Chief General Aleksandar Dimitrijević, former chief of military counterintelligence, and of course he mentioned Serbian father quoted of current Serbian, again quoted, president, and he also mentioned Perišić, general. This piece of shit, he is arrested for selling confidential information to guy who is either MI6 or CIA, I don't know really. So this, wow, this is BBC. So 3 years in prison for giving confidential information to American intelligence operative. So he was caught in motel when he did that, when he was selling information. Motel on a road motel. So high general, retired high general, one foreign operative, papers, bags, and military. So military counterintelligence arrested him. I'm trying to find out who was that guy. I cannot find who was that guy operative. Yeah, here it is. American operative John Neighbor, in whose bags military counterintelligence found DA papers of General Perišić. So general, retired general. So this is again that piece of shit. Let's see if, and I don't know if he was convicted also in Hague. But anyways, so this is how military high officers, how they are earning for living by being involved in every sort of criminal activity, including treason. Okay, so I'm going now for the end to give more details, some more details on illegal arms trade. So this is the first one, so Deutsche Welle. And this is extremely important. So this is recent video. So this is a video. Serbia is the largest weapons producer in the Western Balkans. So I will probably put this as the well, I cannot, I must put picture of that piece of shit. I can put his picture and this. That piece of shit judge, because this is about him. I need to put his picture in a thumbnail. So Serbia is the largest weapons producer in the Western Balkans and ranks 25th in the world in terms of arms exports. Wow. In April, Reuters reported that Serbia, which has long had close ties with Russia, yeah, right, had agreed to export arms to Ukraine, a claim Belgrade denies. Military analyst Alexander Radic, blah blah blah, explains what might have happened, and so on and so on. So Reuters will never mention that, as well as Deutsche Welle and all the other major news mainstream media outlets. They will never mention that United States federal government is behind this, although Deutsche Welle wrote about that, and Spiegel and France Press, I think, and BBC, of course, because their governments are not directly involved, but even though they are not directly involved, they didn't want to mention, they didn't mention a single time that United States is behind this, and I proved without any shadow of doubt that United States is behind this, United States federal government, because all these governments are controlled by the same mafia, so-called elite. That's real mafia. You won't read about them in newspapers. You will read about them as philanthropists and other rubbish and pure rubbish and shit. Okay, another one. This is again Deutsche Welle, but documentary now. So this is about Yemen, and Serbia is also mentioned. So this was in 2018. So this is the video, and so on and so on. I'm not going into details now. So this is B92 Pro, Western media in Serbia, real pieces of shit. And they also was writing about, so this was 2010, which proves my claim, proves my point, and claims that illegal arms trade was, so Yemen is mentioned here, was happening since 2001, right after fall of Milosevic, I mean a year after that. So they are now added, B92 is added to the list of those who are who cover up the whole scandal, who cover up hiding the fact that United States federal government is behind illegal arms trade in Serbia. So B92, welcome to the club of being involved in illegal in cover up of illegal arms trade. So arms trade is one of the worst kinds of organized crimes. Okay, so this is something recent, I think 2022, yeah, 2022, when this Ukraine plane crashed with military equipment from Serbia. In Greece, he took off from Niš, this is city in Serbia, and he was heading, his destination was Jordan. So these are details. That was near Kavala, Greek city, on 16th of July 2022. Okay. Transport plane Antonov. Okay. Yeah, I mentioned this piece of shit at that time, Minister of Defense Nebojša Stefanović in my recent video. Here, 3 former ministers of defense intimidating me through police, military state and military intelligence. Only 6 views, yeah, right. So I just want to see something quickly. What's the actual? It was around 730 something reactions. It's now okay. So it's 6. So YouTube is blocking me. Okay, this still doesn't work. Yeah, okay. So that was just a brief checkout. Okay, so there are a lot of details here. This is the guy from Bosnia and Herzegovina who is involved in that. I mean officially. Unofficially, I said who is behind this. United States federal government. And finally another one. And of course, Vreme is also added to that list, because in that article that I just closed, they haven't mentioned United States is behind illegal arms trade. So welcome to the club of co-conspirators in the case of illegal arms trade in Serbia. Vreme, which is Time, so this is a Serbian version of Time, I think Time magazine, right? Is it a magazine? Yeah, it is. So this is Serbian version. And this is something from 2005 related to illegal arms trade during Milosevic era, and even I think before Milosevic, so during the Commie era. I mean, it's still communist era under the hood, but that was official Commie era after Second World War. So I'm not going into details. I'm just showing the whole article, just for the record. A lot of details. Okay. They even have Twitter. What? Okay. Never mind. So that would be all regarding, I think that I will end here. I have a lot of other videos on judges which are involved in cover-up or frauds related to monstrous murders on my family, but these three and this video that I'm now recording is the fourth video on judges who are not directly involved but are involved in international organized crime, deeply involved. So I need this because I'm going to contact now international institution related to judiciary, and as can be seen, I emailed yesterday International Association of Prosecutors, and this is about social workers, this is about doctors, all international institutions, to let them know what their colleagues are doing here in Serbia, protecting someone who poisoned 3 kids. So this is video on poisoning, on monster who murdered 3 members of my family, also poisoning 3 kids, 3 minors. Okay, so that would be it, and I will need to send everything to international institutions related to judiciary. I mentioned something about that in these 2 videos, so I now need to finish up everything and then to move to some other topics. So this would be all regarding this. Concludes the part of judges of higher instance courts in Serbia being deeply involved in international organized crime, and first in the row was this piece of shit president of Supreme Court, Jasmina Vasovic. And that would be all for now, unless something comes up really important regarding judges. That for now concludes this story.